The time is 7:01. This is Emirate Radio. INEC orders resident electoral commissioners to boost voter education ahead of 2027 elections. Kwara government intensifies fight against female genital mutilation. Thames recounts initial rejection, reflects on journey from setbacks to Grammy. Hal-Hali targets Onuachu. The news in details. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has directed resident electoral commissioners (RECs) to step up voter education and sensitization across the country. INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amukwiton gave the directive in Abuja today during a meeting with RECs following recent elections in the Federal Capital Territory, Kano, and Rivers State. Amukwiton noted modest improvement in voter turnout during the FCT Area Council election, rising from 9.4% in 2022 to about 15% this year, but said more work is needed to engage and build voters' confidence ahead of the 2027 general elections. He also outlined measures to safeguard election results, including direct party score entry into the BVAS device and internal validations to prevent overvoting. Amukwiton urged RECs to conduct continuous voter awareness campaigns, ensure post-election reviews, and uphold professionalism to strengthen public trust in Nigeria's democracy. In another bit, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, has arrived at the Presidential Villa in Abuja ahead of his official declaration as the new head of the Nigerian Police Force. He assumed leadership following the resignation of Kayode Egbetokun, who stepped down due to pressing family matters. President Bola Tinubu praised Egbetokun's decades of service and appointed Disu as acting IGP with immediate effect. The decoration ceremony took place at the President's office, attended by top officials, including the National Security Advisor, Chief of Staff, and Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Disu's appointment comes just weeks before his scheduled retirement, but under the amended Police Act, he could serve until 2030. He now faces the task of leading the police amid rising security challenges nationwide. In another development, a federal high court has adjourned the planned arraignment of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai to April 23rd. El-Rufai is facing a 3-count charge filed by the Department of State Services (DSS) over alleged unlawful interception of the telephone line of the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu and violation of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003. The arraignment was stalled today after the DSS failed to produce the former governor in court. Prosecuting counsel Oluwole Aladeloye San told the court that El-Rufai could not be presented because he is currently in the custody of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, having earlier been transferred from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Defense counsel Oluwole Iyamu San argued that the defendant should have been produced and urged the court to either hear a pending bail application or compel his appearance. However, Justice Joyce Abdulmalik ruled that bail could not be considered since the defendant had not been formally arraigned. The court subsequently adjourned the matter to April 23rd for arraignment. On the home front, the Kwara state government has reaffirmed its commitment to eradicating female genital mutilation (FGM) through a coordinated multi-sectoral approach. At a stakeholders review meeting in Ilorin, Commissioner for Women Affairs Okoyemi Oluwakemi Afolashade stressed that ending FGM requires collaboration among government, traditional and religious leaders, civil society, law enforcement, and communities. She noted the state's strengthening enforcement of the Violence Against Persons Act and child rights law, advocacy visits to schools, markets, and religious organizations, and the appointment of FGM eradication champions. Plans were also announced for an FGM convention to mark the International Day of Zero Tolerance for FGM. Officials highlighted the need for accurate data, with the Ministry of Health calling for surveys to identify practitioners, while the National Human Rights Commission stepped up awareness campaigns. Legal challenges, including family interference in prosecutions, prompted calls for alternative livelihoods for FGM practitioners. You're listening to the Emirate News at 7 from Emirate Radio Ilorin. Welcome back. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, has confirmed that a mother and her son narrowly escaped death after a Lexus SUV overturned several times at the NYSC bus stop along the Lasu-Isheri Expressway. In a statement signed today by the agency's Director of Public Affairs, Adebayo Taufik, LASMA described the early morning incident as a lone but serious crash. LASMA officials quickly arrived at the scene and rescued the occupants, who sustained minor injuries and shock. Officers of the Nigerian Police Force from the Igondo Division provided security and crowd control, while the vehicle was later evacuated with support from the Lagos State Emergency Management Service. LASMA Agency General Manager Olalekan Bakare Oki expressed relief that no lives were lost and urged motorists to obey speed limits and ensure that vehicles are mechanically sound before traveling. On entertainment, Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Temilade Openiyi, popularly known as Tems, has opened up about the challenges she faced at the start of her music career, revealing that she was once pulled off stage during a school performance. Speaking in an interview, she stated that she had expected a standing ovation, but was instead jeered by the audience, who also threw plastic bottles at her. Tems explained that despite the embarrassing experience and other rejections, she remained determined to pursue music. She noted that her decision to stay original rather than perform covers or follow familiar trends may have contributed to the early resistance she encountered. From the sport room, Saudi Pro League side Al Ahly have submitted an offer for Paul Onuachu following his impressive form for Trabzonspor. The Super Eagles striker is the leading scorer in the Turkish Super League with 17 goals. Trabzonspor are yet to respond, but the Nigerian international now faces a decision between staying in Turkey or making a lucrative move to Saudi Arabia. That will be all on Emirate News at 7. Here again are the highlights. INEC orders resident electoral commissioners to boost voter education ahead of 2027 elections. Kwara government intensifies fight against female genital mutilation. Tems recounts initial rejection, reflects on journey from setbacks to Grammy. Al-Hali targets Onuachu. The Emirate News at 7 was compiled and edited by Treasure Ajayi and read by Omotolani Dari. For updates and interactions, follow us on all our social media platforms at Emirate Radio 98.5 or visit our website at www.emirateradio.ng. Good evening and thank you for listening.